What's up my people, I'm Darcy and today I'm going to run you guys through exactly how I would get started again in the online space if I had to go back in time and start again from absolute zero without having to buy a course and without making all the mistakes that I've made along the way so far. I'm going to explain to you in depth what the business model is that's pulled me out of my warehouse job a couple of months ago, and my goal is by the end of this video to help you get a clear understanding of how it runs and how it would look in action for you as well. Now, honestly, getting started is probably the hardest part and the hardest decision that you have to make stepping into the space, going from initially not doing it to doing it. So that's what I'm here to help you guys do. No bullshit, no fluff, just real absolute source that is on this whiteboard right here. And believe me, I was probably in your shoes once upon a time and not too long ago as well, forcing yourself out of bed to work a job that you are absolutely miserable in. So that's why I'm here, and that's why I've created this to help you guys get the ball rolling ASAP. All right, so without further ado, let's just crack straight in. I'm going to present to you guys what I've been working on behind the scenes, which is this whiteboard, which is a complete blueprint of how you are going to change your life in high ticket sales, exactly like I did, right? Now, the first thing that I'm going to cover before we dive into anything else is your goals and your vision, all right? This needs to be crystal clear. Where do you want to go, right? Let's say a goal for you is more money, right? More money, that is a shit goal, bro. More money, how much more money do you want to be making? How are you going to get there, bro? All right, so more money is very, very broad, right? Why do you want more money, right? What is more money actually going to do for you? What is it actually going to change in your life? When do you want more money? How soon do you want this more money coming in? Do you want to be a rich 20-year-old, whatever it may be? And back to it again, what actually changes in your life when you do get more money? What are you actually optimizing for? You need to have all of these things written down and crystal clear where you want to end up and where you want to get to, so then you can structure a plan around it, right? There has to be a what, when, why, and how behind your goal that is so much stronger than the ideal person that you want to be, right? Now, this is the first thing that you need in order to get to your desired outcome, right? A strong goal and a strong vision. Let's say you want to make 10K a month, right? 10K a month. Now, how the fuck are you going to get there, right? Are you going to get to 10K a month on minimum wage, $15 to $30 an hour? Probably fucking not, bro. So you know what? Like, no, you quite literally can't. That is your first problem, that you're trading your time being your most valuable currency. Time is your most valuable asset, and you're trading that for a service that isn't getting you to your current desired outcome. Now, the main problem here is that you're capped on an hourly rate. You can only make as much as your hourly rate is worth, whether that be $15 an hour, $20 an hour, $30 an hour, even $40 an hour. You're capped at that hourly rate, and you can't make any more than $30 or $40 in 1 hour. That is the first problem that we need to fix, all right? Now, there's three main things that you can trade for money, all right? Product, being a physical product, service, and time. Now, a physical product, let's say like clothing, gym supplements, a t-shirt, a hoodie, bro, a hoodie. It's a physical product. Once you sell it once, it's gone. And, drop shipping for an example, you need, a bit of startup costs with inventory, fulfillment, shipping. There's just a whole bunch of unnecessary bullshit, and it's still costing you time to make these items. Then you've got service, which is what most people are trading their time for, whether that be labor, hard labor on the job site, energy spent, sweat, tears, bro, breaking your back, working with your hands, trading your time for labor, right? Then there's digital products, right? Think of subscriptions, PDFs, guides, coaching, mentorship, even like Spotify and Netflix. That's a digital product. It can be made once and resold an infinite amount of times. And that's what I'm here to teach you how to do and how to start doing, because it is probably the highest profitable business out there right now. And you don't need to worry about shipping, fulfillment, refunds, headaches, instant transactions, instant delivery, instant money in your bank account, all right? I've even wrote it down here, right? Create one product, sell it an infinite amount of times, low startup costs, instant delivery and transactions, fitness coaching, right? If you don't know what to sell, you can sell knowledge, right? You're selling knowledge and information. So let's say you go to the gym. This is a pretty easy example. You go to the gym, you used to be fat, you lost weight and got jacked. Sell a coaching offer on how you did that, how you can help this person, right? Just like you did for yourself, right? Now, a lot of people think like, I don't know what to sell. I don't think I'm qualified enough to sell coaching, right? There's so many options out there. You can sell anything that you're knowledgeable on and that you would know how to help another person do and achieve what you have, right? How to do XYZ that you are knowledgeable on. People even sell how to make viral content, how to build your personal brand, right? anything that you have knowledge on and that you can help someone achieve. Now, a lot of people think I'm not qualified to sell XYZ. All you need to know is how to help people, how to get attention, get an audience in who are interested in what you are doing to help people, and how to sell it. That's it, bro. You don't need to be Sam Sulek to sell fucking fitness coaching, bro. You don't need to look like fucking Sam Sulek to sell an online coaching program, right? If you have done something yourself and you know how to help others do it, you can teach people how to do that and charge a service for it, right? You don't need to be Chris Bumstead or fucking C-Bum. You don't need to look like that to sell coaching, right? You could have gone from a fat ass dude to now being jacked and looking sexy, and you can teach people how to do that, right? You don't need to coach high level bodybuilders and whatnot. You can coach people who are beginners and just getting started and can benefit from what you provide. Now, if you truly do not know what to sell and what you can offer and what service you can provide to genuinely help people, you can affiliate for a proven offer, a winning offer that already works, and just take a juicy commission for every sale that you make, all right? Now, what I'm about to show you here is how you can fix your first problem, which is trading your time for $15 to $30 an hour, right? What we're gonna do to solve that issue, like how, is by making more money with your hour, making your hour more valuable. How? Build yourself up as a knowledgeable asset, learn highly valuable and high income skill sets, therefore you can demand more for your hour and make more money, right? Boom. The reason you're able to do this is because of the knowledgeable asset that you've built yourself up as by learning these highly valuable skill sets. Now let's compare this to my last job working in a warehouse, right? $30 an hour, throwing boxes onto conveyor belts like a robot. Literally anyone can do it. A robot could do my job. Robot will probably replace this job in a couple of years, right? So why should I get paid more than $30 an hour for a job that requires no skill and that anyone can do? Why should I demand 10K a month doing a job that anyone can do, doing a job that a robot can do? It just doesn't make sense, right? But we're not here to do what the average person, what anyone else can do, right? We're here to do something different, right? Now, usually a typical coaching offer or a high ticket service ranges between $2,000 to $10,000, right? This can be made in 1 hour on a sales call. I'm going to show you exactly how that would look in action and how you are going to start doing it, right? Let's say $10,000 is collected on a sales call, right? Let's break that up between the team. Granted that you are an affiliate marketer, so you don't even own the service. You are just selling a high ticket service or a coaching offer on behalf of a business, of a proven offer that's already works and a winning offer, right? $10,000 cash collected, right? Let's break that up between the team. Affiliate marketer gets 35% of this one sale if there's one deal closed. $3,500, $3,500. That is almost a monthly wage of the average warehouse worker, which I used to be making in 1 hour. That's made from this guy doesn't even own the offer. He didn't even create the business himself. He's just selling it on behalf of the team. And then a remote closer gets 10% of the deal, industry standard, which is $1,000 in 1 hour. And then a DM setter, which is, I'll explain a little bit more in depth about how that works in a second, but usually industry standard, a DM setter gets 5% of the deal. The person who is managing the DMs behind the scenes of this individual's Instagram account, right? Of the coach's Instagram account, $500 in 1 hour just for sending messages from anywhere you want in the world. Now let's break it down how this looks in action, right? So you have an online coach posting content on these platforms, right? Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube Shorts, gaining attention, generating attention and driving traffic towards his audience and the ideal client that he can help, right? Now, let's say a follower comes in, they're a potential client. The goal is to get this potential client from being a viewer to a conversation in the DMs. And that's where a DM setter will take place if you want to, right? If you want to use a DM setter, or you can do it all on your own, right? Conversation in the DMs then gets directed towards a consultation call, which then leads to a deal close, right? Another $10,000 collected. So let's say it's just an online coach. You have your own offer. You aren't affiliating for a business, right? You have your own business. The online coach gets 85% of this deal, which comes to $8,500. The remote closer, 10% coming to $1,000 again. And the DM setter, 5%, right? From one sale, bro, one client. Now let's flip the script in the eyes of an affiliate marketer, right? Similar to what I just showed you over here, but same sort of very similar workflow, right? Generating attention with content, getting eyes on your profile, your offer, your service that you provide, and generating leads, which is a potential client, to the DMs, right? Bringing them to the DMs, directing them towards a consultation call, and then closing the deal, which comes to another $10,000 collected. So this time, the offer creator usually gets 50% of the $10,000 cash collected, coming to 5K from one sale. Affiliate marketer, again, with 35%. That is if they use a DM setter and a closer. But you could do all three. If you're an affiliate marketer, you could do the marketing, you can do the sales and the DM setting and get 50%. Now, I'm going to show you how DM setting looks like in action, right? I've got a free bonus framework here, but if you do want more information about how to generate attention using these platforms, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, I generated 5 million views collectively last month through just Instagram and Facebook, and I have less than 5,000 followers. So if you do want to know more about that in depth, just DM me the word attention on my Instagram linked in my bio, just so I know that you came from this video and so I can help you get started with that too. I've thrown in a bit of a bonus, right? I've got a DM setting framework which applies to almost any business, and I'm going to run you guys through exactly how that would look in action. So as a DM setter, you're managing the Instagram DMs of a business owner, right? Could be an online coach, anyone selling a high ticket offer or service. What this would look like, you're sitting in their account, managing their DMs, responding to inbound leads that are coming in warm, interested about this offer creator or coach's offer, and you're simply just directing them towards a consultation call and finding out if you can genuinely help them, right? Now, how we're going to do that, right? This is my framework. You can apply to almost any offer, just plug and play, right? First of all, you need to understand point A, right? Where this person is currently at, right? Then point B, their desired outcome / situation. You need to have a clear understanding of where they're currently at and where they want to go. If you don't understand any of those two, you can't help this person, right? Now, remember what I spoke about at the start of this video about having a strong why, what, when, how behind the desired outcome that you are wanting to achieve and behind your goals. You need to understand this person's motive and why they want this change so bad. What will actually happen if they hit their goals? What will their life look like if they go from point A to point B? Why do they want this so bad? You need to have a clear understanding of why that is. Let's say you're a fitness coach and you have a client reaching out to you and they just say, oh, I just want to lose more fat. Bro, that's such a broad answer. Why do you want to lose more fat, man? Like, what will actually change in your life for you? What will your life look like if you lose 10 to 20 kilos? You need to understand their motive, because there's always something so much stronger behind the goal and the reason and why they want to get there. Now, the next thing is building a gap between their current situation and their goals and where they are now, right? So they're here. They want to get to here. You need to make them realize that they can't get from here to here without your help and without the offer that you provide. And in doing so, understand what's holding them back from achieving their goals, right? You could say, what have you tried previously, man? It's like, oh yeah, I've tried a few diet plans and a few training splits, but it just doesn't work out for me. It's like, oh, well, have you ever reached out for like extra support and guidance, man? Like, or did you just try and do it on your own? Oh yeah, I just did it on my own. I wasn't too successful because I just couldn't hold myself accountable, whatnot. That's uncovering a problem right there that you can help them solve. They just didn't have the right direction and guidance and vision, right? Now, once you get your potential clients to voice it to you and make them realize that they can't get from point A to point B, from where they are now to where they want to go without your help, that is when you pitch your consultation call as a solution to their problems, right? Now, I'm going to throw in some bonus 3 tips to remember that used to confuse me in the beginning when I first got started with all of this, right? Because it is very simple. It is very simple. It is just so easy to overcomplicate sometimes and overthink, especially when you're trying to follow a framework. This is a very simple framework and pretty easy to follow, I believe. But some frameworks you're trying to... sometimes it's hard to try and stay on the right track with the framework, and I don't know, it's very easy to overcomplicate it, right? So that's why I've thrown this in there, which definitely would have helped me in the beginning, right? First of all, remember and do not forget that it is a human-to-human interaction. It is a human-to-human conversation, right? Just don't overcomplicate it, man. Just speak to this potential client like you're talking to a friend, like you're trying to help out a friend, right? That's how you have to treat it, because as I said, it's so easy to overcomplicate it and like try and follow a script or try and follow the framework. Dude, just find out if you genuinely can help this person and speak to them as if you're talking to a friend. It's as simple as that. Now, another thing is just forget about the money. Forget about the money, right, that you could potentially make off this person, right? It doesn't exist. find out if you can genuinely help this person, because there's no point selling them something that can't genuinely help them, and then they'll just ask for a refund down the line because you gave them something that didn't work for them, right? Find out if you can genuinely help them first before even thinking about getting them onto a consultation call. Now, another thing, to just always be prompt with your replies, right? We call it speed to lead. The longer your potential client is waiting for a response, the colder they get, right? And they're probably just going to end up forgetting about you and why they even message you in the first place. Be prompt with your responses. Usually, probably 1 hour, ideally, responses within response time. 6 hours is like pretty long. You don't want to leave it much longer than like 6 hours. I'd say that's like a maximum. The only time it'd go more than that is like overnight when you go to sleep, obviously. Now, I hope you all have a crystal clear understanding of what the business model looks like that pulled me out of my warehouse job and changed my life's trajectory for good, and how you can start implementing this into your life, right? Now, if there's anything that you do straight after this video, instantly, as soon as you click off, is just write down your goals, write down your vision, write down where you want to be, what your life actually looks like, and just where you want to go. Because if you don't have a clear vision, like you're just drifting by, and you don't, there's no urgency, there's no sense of, there's no need for change if you're just drifting by and don't really know where you want to end up, right? Figure out what you want, figure out where you want to be, and that's when you start optimizing your lifestyle around that and building a plan on how to get there. I do want to keep this as short and sweet as possible because obviously I don't want to overcomplicate you guys, but I hope you guys found this of value. And if you do feel like you need some extra help or guidance, don't be shy to send me a message on Instagram, right? I've got it linked in my bio. Just let me know you came from this video specifically, and don't be shy to just ask any questions you want, man. I'm happy to help because I know how it is in the beginning. It is pretty tricky and overwhelming to, figure out what you want to do, where to go, where you want to be, how to do it, right? But I'm going to wrap this up for today. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.